Hello, I'm Natasha, and if you're watching this video, it's highly likely that you're suffering from an autoimmune illness or you know somebody who is, and you'd like to learn how to take back control and heal, which is 100% possible. We are made to heal. Our bodies are miraculous. When we get it cut, when we break our arm, we expect the body to heal, and it does. Autoimmune illnesses and other diseases are no different. If we give the body the right circumstances and environment, it will do exactly what it is meant to do. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is to do with MS, but you can use it for any autoimmune illness because the basics are the same for all humans. I'm Natasha. I developed MS in 2002. And up until my mid-30s, it was quite uncomfortable. Let's leave it at that. So I've lost my sight, my sense of taste, balance. I had numbness, MS hug, peripheral neuropathy. I lost the ability to walk because I could not move my right leg, couldn't even move my toes on my right leg. I also lost function in my right hand. I couldn't really use it very well. Pretty much everything you could imagine. And to top things off, in 2017, I suddenly developed this very strange superpower where I had hypersensitivity all down my right side. And if I touched something with my left hand, it was cold. If I touched it with my right hand, it was hot. It was completely crazy. And my doctor put me on Neurotin specifically for that, which is a medication for epilepsy. And after I'd been taking it for a while, I found out through a Facebook post of all things that it kills brain cells and stops the brain from regenerating. And prior to that, I would self-medicate with steroids because that was always what the doctors would give me, IV steroids. And I would take 1,000 milligrams either for 5 days or 8 days, depending on how bad the flare-up was. And I had absolutely no idea that there was any other way to heal. I got approved for the disease-modifying drugs, and then the government didn't contact me in order to receive it. And by the government, I mean the Ministry of Health. I live in Jordan, and because the medication is so expensive, the government will help you get that medication if you need it. I was approved for it, but then I never actually got it, which turned out to be a really good thing because I don't think I would have gone into all of the different ways that you can heal had I been relying on medication, like pharmaceutical drugs. Now, like I said, in 2018, I found out that the Neurotin, so I started taking it in 2017, but in 2018, I found out that it killed brain cells and stopped the brain from regenerating. And I cried a lot and I prayed a lot and I threw my medicine in the rubbish bin and I was like, God, there's got to be another way. And slowly, God started to show me what to look at, where to go, and how to heal. And I have tried a lot of different things to heal. Like really, I have tried everything that I'm going to talk to you today about, but add on to that, I've tried wearable light therapy. I used to wear patches, light therapy patches. I've even tried frog poison. I still have the scars on my hand over here, like 3 dots and 5 dots over here, because they burn your skin before they put the frog poison in. I tried that in hopes that it would help me heal. It didn't help. I did feel a bit better afterwards, but then I found out that there are other ways that you can achieve the same results, maybe with less vomiting. Okay, so I'm going to share what I know with you today in hopes that you will take control of your health, because good health is your birthright and there's absolutely no reason why you should be sick. Okay, once you figure out what's not in balance and you fix it, everything else will sort itself out. Let's begin from the beginning. As human beings, we are made up of 4 different parts. The body, and this is the bit that we know the most about, and this is the one that people talk about a lot. The mind, the heart, and the soul. And each of these 4 need to be in balance for us to be healthy and to have a great life. So let's start with the one that we know the most about, which is the body, this amazing, wonderful vehicle that we've been given to navigate our human experience in. People will often think that everything is about the body. So they'll be busy talking about, should we go keto? Should we go paleo? Should we go carnivore? Should we go raw vegan? Should we go vegan? Should we just be vegetarian? What food plan? How are we going to do it? What should we do? Okay. And what I found is that most things will work. For nutrition wise, most things will work. Find out what feels best for you. So whether you go carnivore or you eat a lot of vegetables or you go keto with low to no carbs, for a while, each of those will help. And the main reason behind it is because when you are doing one of those eating plans, you're doing the most important thing, which is cutting out the food that is toxic to your system. And that would be seed oils, sugar, gluten, processed food, sodas. All of these different things are not helping your body heal. In fact, it's adding more load onto your body. So even though the body is busy inside working and healing, you're giving it more things to mess with it. So if you had a really dirty house, you wouldn't keep the sewage flowing into that house and then just put a new bed or a new duvet cover in it or new curtains up. You want to stop the sewage first and then start moving things out slowly and then start replacing the furniture and the soft furnishings. And your body is exactly the same. So the first thing we want to do is we want to stop the sewage, which is those foods that I told you are not good for you. The gluten, the sugar, the processed food, the seed oils. So when I say seed oils, I'm saying anything that is not avocado, coconut, or olive oil. Okay, those are the ones that are not good for you. And if you were to ask me, well, what do I fry in and what do I use for frying? If you're not going down the vegan option, I recommend either butter or tallow. Tallow is amazing, such an amazing ingredient, very underrated. But it's amazing, tastes good, and won't cause your body inflammation. Because a lot of times when we look at an autoimmune illness, we look at it as an umbrella. But in fact, it is an accumulation of small symptoms. And you want to look at each of these symptoms as an individual issue that needs to be solved. So you want to understand what imbalance is it in my body, my mind, my heart, or my soul that is causing this specific symptom, and then you want to rectify it. But when we say MS, then it's a very big umbrella and all of these different symptoms come under it, and they don't know why it started and how it started, and they have all of these different theories about, is it the Epstein-Barr virus? Have you got heavy metals? Is it parasites? Is it autoimmune? Is the body fighting itself? Have you got too much negativity? Are your emotions causing it? Everybody's got an idea. Everybody's got a theory. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is that we get everything back into balance so we can go back to normal. And by normal, I mean 100% normal with nothing, no flare-ups, and no damage remaining from previous flare-ups, because that's a big thing. We want to not only stop the flare-ups from happening, but we also want to reverse any of the damage that was caused. And that might take a little bit more time. I would say at the moment, I'm probably 90 to 95% back to my normal pre-MS state. And these last little bits I'm sorting out, but it's nothing major. It's a little bit of numbness at the tip of my fingers and a little bit of numbness in my legs. So nothing huge. And eventually that will sort itself out as well. So we talked about removing the food that's not helping us. And then we want to focus on foods that are specifically good for rebuilding nerves. Again, we're talking about MS in this particular case. So foods with lots of B vitamins and all the other minerals and nutrients that your body needs. It might be a good idea to check and see what your vitamin levels are like and what your mineral levels are like, so that you can fix that either with food or with supplements. Personally, I don't take any vitamin supplements, but I do take some mineral supplements in liquid form using nanotechnology. And the reason that I take it in that particular form is because that increases the body's ability to absorb it. So you get the effects of having it in your system faster than if you were just taking normal pills. If you want more information on this, just let me know and I will share that information with you. Okay, so nutrition. You want to make sure that you're getting all of the vitamins, all of the minerals, and all of the nutrients that you need to rebuild your nerves. And you want to make sure that you're also stopping all of the things that are not serving you coming into your body. Now, dairy and eggs, some people can handle it, other people can't. Sometimes you have to heal a bit before you'll be able to tolerate it again. So start as clean as possible with the least amount of ingredients, as simple as you can possibly get. And that's why the carnivore diet is so good. And ketosis, being in ketosis is so good because you've eliminated so many different things that could be causing you inflammation or could be causing you discomfort in your body, and you're giving the body an opportunity to heal itself. So we talked about the nutrition that goes into our body, but also the body needs certain conditions in order to function properly. So we need to make sure that we're getting enough water. And what I like to do is I like to have water first thing in the morning. I sprinkle a little bit of Himalayan salt on my tongue. It can be any salt with magnesium in it. Normal table salt doesn't have that in, so it won't affect the cells and allow them to open to accept the water, because that's what we want to do, so that it doesn't just go straight through your body, but actually hydrates the cells that need hydrating. It's recommended that we drink between 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, but you can also have herbal teas and different kinds of liquid. I would not recommend juice, any kind of juice, even natural juice or soda, because that will raise your blood sugar. And you don't want to do that, because again, we want to reduce the inflammation that's happening in our body, because that might be one of the reasons behind our symptoms. Or sometimes it's not just one thing that's behind our symptoms. Sometimes it's a lot of little things all accumulated together. So we want to fix what we can as we can, slowly, fixing until everything is able to function properly again. So we talked about nutrition and water. Your body also needs sleep. Your body needs sunlight. It's very, very important. Going outside in the sun, whether it is rain or shine, you need to go out and get your sunshine every single day, because that will help turn your cholesterol into vitamin D, and it will also help your nerves to heal. Plus, it will increase the serotonin in your blood, making you feel a lot happier. And sometimes when you're dealing with an autoimmune illness, happiness is hard to come by. Like, you can't even control it, but sometimes you just don't feel very happy. You feel a bit sluggish. So going out into the sunshine will really help you change that feeling of not so great. We've also got movement, which is really important. Your body needs to move. It's not made to be sitting on a desk all day, every day. It also likes fasting. So when we fast, our body does something that's really important. It does autophagy and apoptosis. With autophagy, it eats cancer cells, and with apoptosis, it eats the other cells that are not functioning correctly in our body. We also need to breathe. Breathing is extremely important, and that's why breath work is so cool. And with certain kinds of breath work, we stress our body to a level where it allows stem cells to be released. And we have an infinite number of stem cells, and they can turn into any cell that we want. So let's say you're having an MS flare-up, the myeline's been taken off a whole load of your nerves. It's very difficult for the messages to get from the brain to the rest of the body. We want to release stem cells, so we've got new brain cells that can make new pathways. So while that myelin is being healed, we've got detours already set in place so that we don't have a long time of non-ability to function. High interval exercise is another thing that will help. Tabata sets is one kind, but they will stress the body to a point where it will release stem cells. And cold plunges are another way to do that. So the body as a system, this is how it works. Another thing to be mindful of when it comes to the body is toxins. And we are surrounded by toxins, from toxins in our clothes, to toxins in our food, to toxins in the cleaning products, to toxins in our personal hygiene products, from deodorant to toothpaste, to tampons, to panty pads. Like, there are toxins everywhere. So you want to be mindful and you want to remove as many of those as possible. I heard today that 70% of the homes in the US have got mold in them. So that is another big toxin that you want to pay attention to and you want to avoid, because that is going to do things to your body. And there are things that you can do to get rid of those toxins, whether they are heavy metal toxins or if they are parasitic toxins. There are different detoxes that you can do, different things that you can eat in order to help your body flush those toxins out. And you want to remove as much as you can from your environment and make sure that your environment is a nice, clean environment that serves you. Last but not least, and people don't really talk about this much, but it is energy medicine. And we are an electromagnetic being, and our hands are electromagnetic, our eyes are electromagnetic, and we have energy flowing through us all of the time. And sometimes that energy gets stuck. Sometimes that energy is not flowing correctly. So we want to make sure that it is, because when it's flowing right, we function really nicely. And the lady that taught me this is Donna Eden. She's the founder of Eden Energy Medicine. She was also diagnosed with MS, and she managed to heal her MS just using energy medicine. One amazing energy medicine practice that I highly recommend to everybody is grounding, and that is just going out the garden, out in nature, wherever it is. You just need a little patch of dirt, little patch of ground, stand on it barefoot, sit under a tree, read a book, whatever you want to do, but connect with the ground, because that will allow the electrons from the ground to come up and balance out your energy. And they did a study on a lady with chronic back pain, and they found that after 4 weeks, it had subsided dramatically. She did grounding for 4 weeks, and not for a long time, just for about 15 to 20 minutes a day. And then at the end of 8 weeks, all of her backache had completely disappeared. So grounding is an extremely amazingly powerful tool that I highly recommend you use, and it is free. And you'll find that everything that I'm suggesting today is free, is available to us. And I don't understand how it is not more widely known and practiced by more people. But we're getting there, one person at a time. I'm going to help one person at a time. So everybody who sees this video will know, and then maybe you'll spread awareness and you'll tell more people, and people will have more awareness on how many different ways there are to heal, because there are so many and they work. Like, I'd say 9.5 out of 10 of them work. The only thing that I don't particularly like is giving myself over to somebody else to do energy medicine on, because I think, now I can do it myself. Plus, I don't want anything to rub off on anybody else. I like to keep what's mine as mine. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I'm a little bit strange with that, and that's how it works for me. Okay, so that was just on the body part. Next, I want to talk to you about the mind. Now, our mind is made up of conscious and subconscious thoughts. And what happens is these thoughts will lead to feelings or emotions. And these emotions will trigger certain sensations in our body. And you can read a really cool book by Louise Hay called You Can Heal Your Life. And there's a website called The Alchemy of Healing, where you can look up the symptoms and find out what the feeling might be behind them. And then when you fix the feeling, then the symptom disappears. And this I learned, well, one of the examples I'm going to give you today is not an MS related issue that I had, but I did have really severe toothache. Like my whole side of my face was swollen. I couldn't even touch the area with my tongue. It was really, really painful. And after 2 days of suffering, I was like, I think I might actually have to go to the dentist, which I don't particularly want to do. So I went on the Alchemy of Healing and I looked it up, and I found out that toothache equals indecision. So I looked at my life, I figured out what I was being indecisive about, I took a decision, and the next day when I woke up in the morning, it was as if nothing had ever happened in my mouth. It was all back to normal 100%. And you can use it for pretty much any symptom that you have. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean she's hit the nail right on the head with everything, though I would say 90% of the time she's correct. But again, we're all different and we all have different thoughts and different feelings and different ways of dealing with things. So it might resonate with you, it might not, but it gives you the opportunity to think about it and to fact find with you in your own life so that you can take control. And you want to take control of your conscious thoughts. Like if you're thinking something and you know that thought is not serving you, then change it. Don't dwell on it. I also want to remind you that you cannot tell the future. You are not a fortune teller. You are not Nostradamus. You cannot tell the future. So stop focusing all of your energy on the worst case scenario, because whatever we give energy to, whatever we give focus to, manifests. So if you're sitting there thinking about you being in a wheelchair when your grandkids are running around the house, okay, then that is the reality that you're going to create. And we don't want to create that reality. We want to create a reality where you're running around after your grandkids, throwing them up in the air, having a wonderful time, going out for a long walk, having a good meal, and enjoying your life. I need you to visualize, if you're going through something right now, I want you to visualize yourself better. And that was one of the things that I did. When I was in a wheelchair, I would sit and I would watch people's feet. I would watch them walking, I would watch them running, and I would visualize my feet doing the same thing. Like, this is how they're walking, this is how they're running. I want to do this, I'm going to do it like that. And I would play it over and over and over again in my head. And that, when you give your mind something to focus on, it can't tell the difference between what's a reality and what's your imagination. So if you're imagining something, it thinks it's a reality, and then it starts making it into the actual reality, into your actual reality. There's a great movie by Dr. Joe Dispenza called What the Bleep Do We Know? And in that film, they do a science experiment on this of one physical item that was in two places at the same time, and wherever they gave focus to, the item would materialize in it. So if they gave focus on this side, it would materialize on this side. If they looked at this side, it would materialize at this side. And that just shows you how little we know about the universe, how little we know about life, but what we give energy to, what we give focus to, will manifest. So think good thinks, because thinks become things. And this is something that I have learned. I started learning how to become a hypnotherapist in 2018 as a way to heal myself. And it hasn't just healed myself, it has completely changed my life. Like just changing the way I think about things completely changes my experience, and it has been phenomenal. Number 3 is your heart. Now, your heart is this amazing, wonderful. Have I got it on the right side? Yes, I'm on the right side, because I was like, is it on the right side? Yes. So the heart is here, and it is amazing. It has its own electromagnetic force field, and it brings things and it does things for you, and it's pretty phenomenal. And one way to get very, very comfortable with your heart is through meditation. And I love Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations. It helped me a lot. When I healed myself, when I healed paralysis in 10 days and then did 12,000 steps in Zurich with zero medication, I was focusing a lot on one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations, and it's one called The Program. And I was doing it actively multiple times a day, and I healed really, really fast. And at another time, when I had another flare up and I didn't meditate, the healing took a lot longer. Your heart is your connection to the Creator, to the universe, to God. You want to nourish that relationship and that connection, because that is what is going to get you through. Choose any path that you want, but choose something and connect. You might be the kind of person who just likes to sit out in nature and connect that way. You might be somebody who likes to meditate. You might be somebody who likes to pray. Choose whatever you want to choose, but do it and nourish that connection and make it stronger and better, because that is going to help you a lot. Because when your heart is in balance, everything else fits into place. And fourth and final thing that I want to leave you with is your soul. Your soul is here on a human experience journey. It wants to have a great time. Your soul is from God, so it likes the same thing God likes. It likes cleanliness, it likes happiness, it likes goodness, it likes a good, nice environment around you, good things, because God is the source of all good. So you want a lot of good things. And also, because God has created you and he loves you and he's put you on this earth to have this human experience, he actually wants you to have this human experience, which means sitting behind a desk from 9 to 5, 5 or 6 days a week with only 2 weeks off a year is not you enjoying your human experience. It is you working basically for somebody else most of the time and wasting away the best years of your life waiting to retire because you're trying to pay off bills and you're trying to do all of these things. This universe is abundant. You do not have to do a job that you do not like just to get by. Step out of the box that they have created for you and find what brings you joy. Find your ikigai. Find what you like doing, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for. And once you've found that, focus on it and give it your energy and enjoy the journey, enjoy life, because this is it. This is your human experience journey. And if you've never heard this before, this is your wake-up call. Take control of your health, take control of your life, and live an amazing, wonderful, phenomenal experience. I take 0 medication. I don't even take Panadol. I live a good life. I eat good food. I practice good practices. I really enjoy my life. Like a friend of mine once said, she was really sick as well. And she said, the key to healing is falling in love with your life. So make it so amazing that you fall in love with it. So you want to be there. So you want to enjoy it. So you do enjoy it, because this is it. So that's it from me. Got body, mind, heart, and soul. Make sure these are all in balance, and you will see your life change. You will see your body change. You will see your abilities change. You will see the brain fog lift and the fatigue disappear. And you will feel a lot better. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. And if you need more information, I have got another video where I go into visualization, nutrition, thoughts, energy medicine, meditation, novelty, movement, sunshine, emotions, and fasting. And I don't think I mentioned novelty, so I'm going to just mention that. In regards to the body, your brain likes things that are new. Like as an actual organ, the brain likes new things. So give it new things. Give it new words to learn. Give it Sudoku. Give it a new language. Give it an instrument. Give it puzzles to solve. Because when it's busy and it's doing things, it's building new neural pathways. It's making your brain more neuroplastic, and that is what you want. Because like I said before, with MS specifically, it's a demyelination. So the myelin is being taken off the nerve cell, and then the messages are not being able to transmit. So we want to make sure there are lots and lots of detours. And the way that we do that is by stimulating the brain. Brain likes two things, novelty and nutrition. So make sure it's getting both. So that's all from me today. If you would like any more information or you would like a step-by-step guide, I do have a course where I go through everything step by step, and I am happy to share that with you. Just let me know if that is something that would help. Have a wonderful rest of the day. My name is Natasha. You can find me on Instagram at the Natasha Q. I've also got a website, hypnotherapyme.com, and another website called natashatalks.com. So I hope I inspired you. I hope you have the most phenomenal, amazing health. And I hope that if you needed a wake-up call to know that you can take control of your health, then this is it. Because honestly, I went from being miserable, literally miserable, to thriving. I went from being in a wheelchair and feeling like my life was a dark hole to loving every single minute. And it's possible for every single person out there. So sending you love, sending you light, sending you lots of healing. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. Bye for now.